For this band complex, twist your band a few times to make sure that the center of the band operates as a single strand. Then grip your band with small loops poking out of either end of your hand. Exercise number 1 is our band pull apart. Start with this one out in front and bring the band towards your chest so that it touches the middle of your chest halfway between your collarbones and your nipples. It's great if that band moves slightly downward as it comes towards you because this ensures that we're not using the upper traps. Now I'm going to do 20 reps of each movement to give you an example and a showcase from each angle. Exercise number 2 is external rotation. So now with a single strand and the palms facing the ceiling, we're working on rotating the upper arm, taking those hands out to either side and bringing the band close towards the stomach. Notice how the elbow stays close to the side of the body and only pivots but does not move backwards as we stretch that band. You can see the muscles of the upper back and shoulders are responsible for this rotation action. Next up, we're back to this double strand. We're going to stand on the band and grab the loops on either side. From here, we're working on shoulder retraction. So we're going to pinch those shoulder blades together and sweep the hands backwards slightly as we lift them up. Make sure on this one that you pull those hands upward and backwards so that the upper traps are not becoming overly dominant as they try to lift those shoulder blades towards the earlobes. On any of these movements, if you're not capable of doing the prescribed repetitions, it's fine to simply pull and hold in the topmost position, as this still gives tension in the muscles. That can be very rehabilitory for the joints. Our next one is the rear delt fly. I have the single band from my hand down to the floor, and I also have a single strand between my hands. This way, as you flare those arms upward and backwards, you'll feel the resistance down towards the floor and away from the other hand. This is a pretty challenging movement, so make sure you move with control rather than momentum. Remember, it's better for us to hold with isometric tension rather than use a quick movement. All these movements use the muscles of the upper back and back of the arm, so I expect that you feel a pretty good burning sensation at this point. Remember, over time, you'll develop your capacity and you'll be able to do more before that discomfort sets in. Now we're up for the anterior delt. This is the front of the shoulder. So standing on the band, a single strand, bringing those hands up and in front of our body to about shoulder height. When you do this, make sure that your shoulder blades are still retracted. So don't let your shoulders really reach forward as you elevate those hands upward. You can see here that we're not letting those arms reach way in front. Instead, keep those shoulder blades retracted and the posture nice and tall. As with everything, keeping those abs and glutes engaged will make sure that you build good stability for the lower from the lower body up to the upper extremity. Now you may be feeling pretty fatigued, so remember, keep your breathing pattern all the way in and all the way out. Here's a great example of that protraction of the shoulder blade. We don't want to lose those shoulders forward. Now finally, our last movement is the Bradford press. This is where we're going to start with that band, a single strand in front by the collarbones, and then press it up and over the head. Each time you do this, you should make sure to keep your forearms fairly vertical so the elbow is right underneath the wrist. Press that band up and just barely around your head and face. It should go just over the front of your hair. As with our other movements, make sure you move with control, no momentum, and you keep the core nice and braced. You can see here from the side view that the upper arm is going from a position where it's poking out to the sides into a position where it's oriented more forward. That's the motion that we want to see in the Bradford press. All right, I know that can be quite a doozy of a routine, so take a quick break and then try this again